You are as guilty as they are because you were an essential part of that crime. When you went to spend that blood money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you placed on the human life that was taken.
Dedrick Williams was in a Broward County courtroom for violating his probation in a previous grand theft charge. He is also charged with the murder of rapper XXXTentacion. Detectives say Williams killed the rapper as he left a motorsports store in Deerfield Beach.
And at the conclusion of this evidence, you'll find that Dedrick Williams, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom are guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of armed robbery in this case.
The trial of 3 men for the murder of rapper XXXTentacion.
The fact that one of the convicted murderers, Dedrick Williams, is now claiming that Drake had some sort of connection to the Red Rum in the legal case surrounding XXXTentacion's killing may surprise you. Check back as we examine these shocking claims and what they mean for a hip-hop mogul. The backstory. This is the beginning. Although it may appear absurd, you will be astounded by the proof he is bringing to the court. Jay, born in Florida, USA on January 23, 1998, Dwayne Ricardo Enroy is most often known by his stage name, XX1On. Because of his charisma and unique emo style, he flourished and broke into the music industry, becoming a worldwide phenomenon as a rapper. He amassed a large fan base and created hits like Look at Me X and Moonlight. Because of his approachable style, young people continue to love him despite his many legal troubles. On June 18, 2018, X had just pulled out $50,000 and was leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, when he was shot multiple times just outside the business. An SUV blocked their way out of the store. Since all of this was captured on security cameras, the rising star's career came to an abrupt end. After a violent argument, 2 armed men stepped out of the SUV, shot at X, and took the money.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXTentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTentacion.
The saddest part was that he penned gone too soon while he was just 20 years old and at the height of his musical career. To find out if Drake was involved, an appeal has been filed. After X's death, 4 suspects, including Robert Allen, were arrested and put on trial. After turning against the others and making a bargain with the federal authorities, the other 3 were convicted of all the crimes and given life sentences without the possibility of release. This was an actual betrayal.
After Dedrick Williams realizes that he doesn't have a mask to rob people, what did you guys decide to do?
Go buy one.
Where?
Freedom Motorsport.
Who drove to Reed Motorsports?
Dedrick.
However, one of the swindlers, Dedrick Devin Williams, is now submitting paperwork to obtain an appeal, further complicating the story. Dedrick and his legal team are arguing that he was not given a fair trial as required by law in order to support their petition. Things are getting worse for the well-known rapper, according to them, because Drake dropped the bombshell by identifying Drake in the middle of all of this. The trial omitted important evidence that may have destroyed the entertainment industry as a whole.
Of events, rapper Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake, may actually be linked to late rapper Hassaf Onfroy, also known as XXXTentacion's murder. This may actually be more than just rumors. Dedrick Williams, one of the men convicted in the tragic killing as the getaway driver of the late rapper's death, is appealing his conviction after evidence was not allowed in court, according to his attorney, Marcicio Padillo, who is appointing Drake as a possible suspect. Williams' attorney Padilla argues that the jury didn't hear all.
Drake seems incapable of getting a break. A member of Dry's defensive team, Mauricio Padilla, discusses the situation in excellent detail in an interview with Jessa Weber. On his Instagram account, X wrote a controversial post prior to his death, saying that if he was found dead, champagne would be served. Although X and Drake's alleged terrible argument was a really strange statement to make, Poppy is ultimately to blame. Despite his lack of involvement, was Drake really involved? Things don't appear to be going well for the large dog otherwise.
Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now, it's champagne poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect, right? So, imagine, the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's champagne poppy, which is Drake's Instagram.
Uncertain XXX's feud with Drake. Clearly, these two couldn't get along. In an effort to salvage their careers, emerging rappers frequently instigate a dispute with prominent industry leaders. It seems that X may have simply borrowed this tactic from the renowned playbook. When Drake revealed teasers of his new single, KMT, while on tour in 2017, many people thought it was fantastic, but not X. This was the start of the conflict. The tease. Many started making comparisons, saying that the opening melody greatly resembled X's song. This was a bomb ready to go off, as we all know. Now look at me. In a subsequent statement, Drake admits that the opening 2 lines might sound like X's hit, but he quickly denies ever copying the song from the up-and-coming rapper. He says he is not that kind of person or foolish, and he does not see why anyone would think he would do such a thing.
Drake, he was supposed to contact one of my managers, so he doesn't do it. That same week, bro.
Demon just got out of can. I gave my
I hear that in my dance.
just got in my place.
Hey, can't keep my in my pants. Hey, my bitch don't love me no more. Hey, she kicked me out on live.
Uncertain XX feud with Drake. Clearly, these two couldn't get along. In an effort to salvage their careers, emerging rappers frequently instigate a dispute with prominent industry leaders. It seems that X may have simply borrowed this tactic from the renowned playbook. When Drake revealed teasers of his new single, KMT, while on tour in 2017, many people thought it was fantastic, but not X. This was the start of the conflict. The tease. Many started making comparisons, saying that the opening melody greatly resembled X's song. This was a bomb ready to go off, as we all know. Now look at me. In a subsequent statement, Drake admits that the opening 2 lines might sound like X's hit, but he quickly denies ever copying the song from the up-and-coming rapper. He says he is not that kind of person or foolish, and he does not see why anyone would think he would do such a thing.
Even though Blood Raw, I still think Drake, like, I think he's not a man. I think that's a move. Especially when I was in jail facing life, bro. You know what I'm saying? If Drake would have came to my barn hearing, you know what I'm saying, that would have made my day. If he would have showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this for the culture, rather than being a nigga taking my running off with it and then putting it on his album, then he would have got my kudos, he would have got my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% royalty rate. I would have done it. Because I know I can maintain, you know what I'm saying, that I would have appreciated him for being a real nigga. Drake.
It's not even the most ridiculous aspect about it. X dealt Drake an even more damaging blow by apparently criticizing her on Twitter, saying that she was cute and that Drake could even give her a low blow. You read correctly. X kept us interested throughout the entire Instagram live event by playing it low. He pulled the same joke that day, don't you think?
Hey, tell Drake mom I want some hey, tell Drake mom I want some tapioca pudding. Tell Drake mom I like my pudding tapioca.
And he wasn't finished yet. X continued to visit Drake and criticized his fake Jamaican accent because he and his whole family are from Kingston, Jamaica, which only serves to enrich the culture. Since Drake is not from Jamaica, he urges Drake Live to stop talking trash and says that Drake is stealing his culture. Appropriation charges perhaps taking the high road, Drizzy was unusually silent on the topic. You're probably wondering what Drake thinks of all of this. I consider champagne puppies to be quite developed.
And hey, tell this Drake, stop speaking patois. You are not Jamaican. I'm a real Jamaican. I'm from Kingston. All of my family is from Kingston. Stop stealing my people's culture. Get the off our... We don't claim you.
More rappers, such as 600 Breezy, entered the feud in the midst of this chaos, and the two kept making subtle barbs. When Drake liked the trolling comment on DJ Academic's Instagram page, he specifically targeted X, knocking him out while performing with Rob Stone O. Can Drizzy also be so shady? Even when the rivalry ends in 2018 and the ex-boyfriend apologizes to Drake's mother for his derogatory comments about her, X insists that the KMT song was very similar to his own and never changes the melody, suggesting that Drake had stolen from him.
I want to say this right now. I want to say this on this video. I apologize to Drake for coming for his mom. I saw you as a business opportunity as you saw me as a business opportunity, as you extorted the cadence from that song. I'm not gonna argue. It is what it is, nigga. The cadence is exact same. And if I'm just an emotional bitch, then it is what it is. We agree to disagree like men, but I apologize because talking about his mom was wrong.
Dredrick's attorney, he now talks about this quarrel, which continued till X's death. Drake is reportedly being included by Mauricio Poto in an effort to strengthen the defense. Pio points to the state's request that Dedrick erase every witness he had listed, which is allegedly against the law, as one of the errors supporting Dedrick's appeal. To make matters worse, he says he had to give the state a defense plan, which is totally inappropriate.
December of 2020, I filed a witness list. The state's reaction to that was to file a motion saying, we want the court to strike all of his witnesses, that's not even something that's legal or that you could do. You have to itemize who you want stricken. You just can't shotgun approach and say, I want all of his defense witnesses stricken. But the state attorney did that. In a hearing that I had to defend, myself to that in that motion, the court didn't grant that, but the court instructed me to file a pleading, which was the nexus in my defense witnesses and what nexus they had to my theory of defense, which I argued was inappropriate because at the end of the day, you're ordering me to give the state a blueprint of what my defense is going to be.
It just keeps repeating itself. Messier Mauricio also filed a motion to continue DJ Academic's testimony because the DJ was a close friend of X and was heavily involved in this feud, as shown by all the YouTube videos he posted about his phone conversations with X. In these videos, he discusses the drama surrounding Drake's mother and a photo that X asked him to post on his platform. DJ Academics refused to post the disgusting Drake doppelganger with semen on his face, warning X that even if Drake isn't a hood thug, he might take revenge. When Mauricio says the judge denied his request to have this testimony continued, it raises even more concerns.
The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Academics, because DJ Academics was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face, and he wanted DJ Academics to post it on his own site, and he said, I'm not going to do that. And in that conversation, DJ Academics says that you better be careful because even though, and I'm paraphrasing again, even though he's not a gangster, you may be pushing.
Still, there's more in addition. Mauricio said that when the process server who had served Drake with the subpoena showed up as a witness at a later court date, he planned to show video evidence of the work. Captures Drake's security apparently being uncooperative, and one of his employees is even captured on tape kicking the subpoena down the street of his estate.
At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness, and I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion, and the judge didn't allow me.
Stranger still, the judge asked Mauricio why he wanted to involve Drake in the dispute and refused to allow him to play this video in court. Furthermore, he granted Drizzy permission to withdraw his protection order and subpoena. Let Drake's attorney, Brad Cohen, defend California law without a California expert in attendance. Drake was also taken off of Mauricio's witness list, which is completely out of place. Drizzy might have some influential allies in high places, it seems.
I don't want to speculate as to why, but when you're dealing with someone like Drake, which he's not a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. He's like in the stratosphere of fame. So when a judge does a 180 like that, I'll let the viewers or other people figure out why they think that it happened.
And Morris had not yet finished. Given Drake's immense notoriety, he speculates that the court may have made these decisions that seem to benefit Drizzy because Drake is a super celebrity. He asserts that this might have been the reason for the judge's first 3 unconstitutional decisions, which weakened the fairness of Dedrick's trial by favoring the most popular individual, a plot point that we have all seen many times.
And the defense, my understanding, wanted to call Jesse De La Cruz, who they had claimed, discovered visual evidence that Drake could have had ties to the same organization as a co-defendant in this case, Robert Allen.
Yes, okay, so Dr. De La Cruz did proffer to the court everything that you've stated regarding the song lyrics, the fact that Drake was throwing gang signs that were the same gang signs that Allen was throwing up in different...
Even gang specialist Jesse De La Cruz is disqualified by Judge Wilder as a witness, even though Cruz claims to have found visual evidence that suggests Drake might have been associated with the same group as Robert Allen, the case's co-defendant. A fishy one. Research that Dr. Cruz reportedly did show Drake was throwing the identical gang signs as Robert Allen. Before he died, he also revealed that Drake's friends were allegedly seen threatening him in his old area. Interview 1611/1642. It's not the end either. In songs that Drake released after X's death, Cruz appears to have related Drake's remarks to X's tragic existence. These songs include I'm Furious, which contains a line mentioning Lewis, and XXX, which has dramatic lyrics in which Drake claims he was shot below the neck. Cruz believes Drake was referring to the Louis Vuitton bag that X was carrying with the $50,000 that was stolen during the gunfight.
Shortly after XXX was killed, the brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled XXX with suspicious lyrics. SMS XXX, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags, the implication there being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately, Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings.
I don't believe that was a legal call. I think it was error for him to do that and not allow us to put forth that testimony. And we put up pictures of Drake with Lil Wayne throwing up a Bloods gang sign and other evidence that Drake is out there flaunting gang ties.
Right now, it's getting more difficult. Interview 1711/182. The drama is still going strong. Mauricio further claims that despite being granted the chance to cross-examine Allen and support his arguments, the court restricted his freedom to do so. Studying other people, he added that the court stopped him when he asked Allen about one of the used guns, which seemed to have been given by Allen's father, and its alleged ties to Toronto.
Allen admitted that his father, known dealer, known firearms dealer, as the brief states, produced at least one of the guns that was used in this. When I asked him about his father and ties to Toronto and dealing, the state objected, and the judge didn't allow that question.
He also says that by questioning Allen about Drake and asking him to clarify whether he knew that Drake was in Miami before Drake was disqualified as a witness, the state attorney committed a grave mistake. As a result, Drake was able to gain attention at the time, which made Mauricio's case more difficult. Protection. When Mauricio asked about a similar issue during cross-examination, Allen said that his girlfriend confirmed Drake's location on social media, which is a shaky confirmation for a homicide trial. They made a cunning move and managed to avoid reporting this.
So it was a constant battle for me to try and basically do my job and show where reasonable doubt existed. With Allen, with Detective Curcio, the problem here is also that the state attorney, on direct of Detective Curcio, which was the lead detective in the case, she asked do you have any information that Drake was involved in this? And that was before the court struck him. So whatever the reasons may have existed, the moment that state attorney opens up their mouth and says that, now he's really at issue.
It is clear that the trial had many mistakes and inconsistencies that we cannot overlook. Even though everyone claimed that justice had been done for Tendon with the indictment of Dedrick and the other 2 inmates, Drake might have played a role in the unborn child's demise. But the grave errors in the trial may have saved the superstar a tremendous deal of grief, even though the appeal could go on and Drake could find himself in hot water. Was this a fun video for you? In that case, don't forget to like and share, and keep an eye out for our next video.